Maxwell Gaming.
Maxwell Gaming.
Maxwell Gaming.
Maxwell Gaming.
Maxwell Gaming.
Don't ever ask me to edit something like this again. So Maxwell, the ultimate puppet master, the ultra try-hard magician, or casual farmer. That's the duality of Maxwell. Maxwell is a relaxing character choice. Don't need to worry about anything that the game throws at you. Need resources? You are free to collect things automatically without spending too much time on them. Bosses giving you trouble? It's okay. You have a free, pretty much limitless source of damage at your side. Stats? Other than being slightly frail, you basically don't even need to worry about your stats. Maxwell is basically a third-person real-time action strategy game packed into a character. Summon gatherers here, summon fighters here, make traps and gather fuel, and repeat. Oh, we need to stall? Here, we'll cast prison on them. Why do things yourself when you have minions? That's just how Maxwell do. The minions kind of make you forget how much time you actually spend on things. Things like chopping trees, picking up items, or harvesting your transplanted grass, twigs, and berries takes a long time. With Maxwell, you have so much free time that you don't normally have with other characters. So much so you just don't know what you should end up doing.
Maxwell Gaming.
Maxwell's main draw is his book, the Codex Umbra. With this he can cast spells, each very simple. You got your resource minion that can do any task you want within a certain area, harvesting, digging, mining, chopping, picking up items, and it will keep going until it has nothing else to do in its area. You can just straight spawn them in and have them do things while you walk around and do other things. Just make sure not to get too far to unload them if you want the job to be complete. You will probably use these the most as a casual Maxwell player. There's just something satisfying to see 6 of these minions working on a task while the main player is also working on a task. Following that we have his combat minions, the Duelists. These things are a lot more interesting than most people give them credit for. Duelists only have 75 health, but they have innate armor when spawned, allowing them to be a lot more tanky than you would expect. For the first 5 seconds, a Duelist can only take a maximum of 15 damage. After those 5 seconds are up, every 2.5 seconds, the maximum damage they can take increases by 5. Meaning after 30 seconds, they'll be able to take full health worth of damage. This only happens if the Duelist doesn't take any damage while summoned though. If a Duelist does take damage, the armor gets reset, allowing for Duelists to be more effective against bosses that have AoE attacks, constantly proccing a Duelist's defense. A Duelist's damage starts at 20 and can be increased based on what Maxwell is holding. There are 4 tiers of items, and all the items that affect Duelists are listed here. Based on what tier Maxwell is wearing, increases the Duelist's individual damage by 4 times the tier equipped. Meaning a Duelist can max out at 60 damage a hit if wearing the maximum gear. But on average, the Duelist will be doing around 40 damage mid-game. Both the Duelist and the workers have a set duration that they will exist for if they are actively doing a task. Duelists have a 2-minute duration and workers get a 4-minute duration, but they have to be actively doing something. If they aren't, they will take 10 seconds for the shadow minion to disappear. If Maxwell is within their vicinity, your minions won't disappear, but if Maxwell gets too far away, they will disappear after 10 seconds.
Maxwell Gaming!
The Duelists are kind of interesting in that there's a lot more quirks to them than just damage. First being that they can aggro from any range, and not just from the bubble that you spawn them in. This range can go as far as loading distance. Duelists will help in a fight if Maxwell gets hit or does an attack, no matter how far they are. Duelists have some problems though. If you played as Maxwell, you may have noticed sometimes when you spawn Duelists on a creature, the Duelists attack, and instead of targeting the Duelist, the creature targets Maxwell. That's because there's a function for both Duelists and minions to change aggression to Maxwell. If Maxwell is within 24 units of a minion dying or disappearing, the aggro will change. Disappearing counts when a minion is attacked, and also when a Duelist does the charged attack. So that means a Duelist's first attack will never draw aggro on the creature. It will instead send the aggro to Maxwell. The Duelist's standard attack will actually draw aggression towards the Duelist though. This is why you need multiple Duelists to keep a creature distracted. And with multiple Duelists, you can basically let them handle fights for you. But to really get the most out of them, it's better to fight with them. Because if Maxwell is not close enough, the Duelist will do less damage per second. The Duelists have a score system that checks how fast they will attack and how quick their cooldowns are. The score goes from 0 to 4, and whatever number the score is determines what the percentage Duelist will get buffed by. So if the duelists are far away, the score is 0, meaning they get the slowest speeds, being one attack every 2.8 seconds and having a 16-second cooldown on their charge. If Maxwell is within range, it adds 1.5 points to the score system, making duelists 38% more effective. If Maxwell is getting attacked, but is not actively fighting, the duelists will get a score of 2.5 points, making them 63% more effective. If Maxwell is fighting, but it's not a target that the duelists are targeting, it gives 3.5 points, making the duelists 88% more effective. And finally, if Maxwell and the duelists are targeting the same enemy, they are 100% effective no matter the range, meaning that their cooldown is cut in half and they'll have one attack every 1.8 seconds. If you are 16 units away, your shadow equipment will not affect your duelists anymore. This is about the range of the pan flute. So if you're wearing equipment and you're not in this range, it's not doing anything for your duelists. So it's best to stay close and fight to ensure you're getting the most out of your duelists. It's kind of a shame though, really. The duelists are so interesting, yet they just are a spam ability. Duelists can be used much more outside of just boss battles, and they can even be great for farming certain creatures. But sadly for now, they'll just be as they are. Next of his spells are his traps, the Shadow Snare and the Shadow Prison. Both are pretty simple in their nature, with one being passive and the other being active. The Shadow Sneak spell acts as a landmine for small to medium creatures. On activation, it will panic them for 12 seconds, and also slow them down to 67% speed. If a creature has a nightmare form, this trap will instead turn them into their nightmare form and have them stay in that form for 1 day. It will also guarantee a nightmare fuel drop from these creatures. This is the best way to farm nightmare fuel as Maxwell early on in the game. Just capture a bunch of rabbits, snare them, and get the rewards. Next is his prison. Anything in the circle as Maxwell casts will stop moving for a set amount of time. Anything that's not a boss will last 24 seconds trapped, and bosses will be trapped for 12 seconds. It's just a visual effect though. There are no collisions added with the pillars. This is a great general pause to action type of spell, and totally can't be used for other things. One of the things that people don't really talk about are Maxwell's passives. The fact that Maxwell has built-in dapperness and that he can freely use shadow equipment without any harm really is a savior in casual survival. His sanity gain is equal to having a Tam O'Shanter, and because of this the player can mix and match much less dapper equipment for more survival focused equipment. And being able to use dark swords and knight armors without any passive loss is amazing. Especially combining them with Dreadstone, where you can basically regen your armor for free and have some decent armor protection. Maxwell's health is interesting in that it's not really a detriment when you're wearing armor. It's only a problem if you're not wearing armor, because you're in one-shot territory by a lot of creatures without armor. But for general fights, his health really isn't that bad. You just got to keep an eye out when wearing weaker armors. In addition, he is able to use Wicker books at double the sanity drain. So Maxwell is basically two characters in one. Maxwell is fun and relaxing. He is probably one of the easiest characters to play in the game. He is so easy, people don't play him because he trivializes most of the game. He has the powers to make everything happen for you, be it fighting, harvesting, collecting, or dancing. All of this really makes Maxwell truly the puppet master. Thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed. That was the Maxwell video done. And currently we're working on the Wicker video, which is basically kind of funny because you can become Wicker and Maxwell at the same time basically. But it's fun to kind of have their powers separate. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, this has been Terra, and take care.